Guys, if you're listening at home and you want to know about the safety class and the defensive end class, you're probably not going to enjoy this show. If you want to know about the wide receivers, we've got you covered. To make things easy on ourselves, we've broken this down into team. Howard, LSU, Joe, Texas, me, all the other guys who are more fun.
Yeah.
Let's start with Texas.
Funny how that works out.
Funny how that works out. A.D. Mitchell,
Yeah.
Adonai Mitchell.
Yes.
He is a name that if you like mock drafts, you have seen the Bills tied to. Why would he make sense for them if that's the way they go?
It's because on paper, Adonai Mitchell is one of those guys where you're like, okay, I can really see this guy becoming a future number one.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a polarizing prospect. I mean, you look at the measurables, 6'2", 205 pounds, ran a 4.34 40. You watch him on film, he separates. He's a very twitchy, bigger receiver. He goes up, makes highlight reel catches. He separates. He does all these things, and you're like, wow, this guy can really be something. And then you look at his analytical profile, and you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
His yards per route run is one of the worst in the class. I think his top season was 1.72. His average depth of target was great at 16, but his yards after catch was one of the worst at 3.72, probably because the average depth of target was up. But, I mean, on top of that, you just have this polarizing aspect to him, and he's kind of a divisive prospect, but I can absolutely see Brandon Beane looking at him on film, because he is a film guy, and saying, that guy's a perfect fit for X receiver, that guy's a perfect fit for what Gabe Davis just left. So I could definitely see him going there.
Yeah, it's like a more talented, better version of what Gabe Davis could have potentially been.
Exactly.
Xavier Worthy is the other name from Texas who everybody was talking about for a couple weeks because he ran the fastest 40 time ever. He's also 165 pounds.
Yes.
So where do you find him in kind of the grand scheme of things, and do you think he would be worth it?
It's funny. Worth it? Pun.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
Well, he's like 5'10", 5'9", something around that range. He, to me, is incredibly interesting for the Bills because, you know, a guy named Josh Allen throws the ball, and he can throw it like to the stadium from right here.
Yards.
And Xavier Worthy can probably go get it with 4.21 speed. Now, the problem is with him, even though he has this speed, he struggles with physicality at the line. So where do you play him? And do you play him at that X receiver position, which, for those who aren't familiar, they're up on the line, which means in man coverage, they have to deal with physicality and bump and run right at the line of scrimmage. So that not every team plays it. So that's the conceptual question you have to ask about him. But is he worth a first-round pick?
Yeah.
He's absolutely worth a first-round pick. You don't find that speed and that type of route running with that speed just anywhere.
All right, so he could be worth a first-round pick. Two guys who we know are worth first-round picks are Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. I want to start, though, with Malik Neighbors because that would be a massive swing. If the Bills are drafting Malik Neighbors, that means they
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, let's not. This isn't rocket science, okay? If the Bills are going to win a Super Bowl or win games next season, they're going to do it because of their offense. They're going to do it because they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I beg to differ with the GM of the Bills. I think he's doing a great job. There's a glaring hole at number one wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Malik Neighbors fills that hole. That guy comes in and makes an impact as a rookie. He's got tremendous speed. Not the biggest guy in the world, but okay, right? He can get separation. He has great yards after catch. How many times have we heard yak from the Bills the last few years? Okay, the guy gives you that. You know, he just, to me, it's how high you got to get up to get him. But if they get either of the LSU guys, Neighbors would be my first choice over Brian Thomas Jr., but if they get either of the LSU guys, I will go to bed happy tonight.
And Brian Thomas Jr., though, is interesting because he gets to the end zone. He had 17 touchdowns last year. All the Bills receivers combined had 19, so that's something he's good at.
Right, a little bigger, right? 6'3",
Little bigger.
210.
Yeah.
He's got good speed, maybe not as good yak ability as Neighbors would get you, right? And then I'm cheating off of Joe's and Dane Brugler's work. And they did point out, though, as a route runner, he's still a little bit raw, so he needs a little bit of work. So to me, it sounds like, at least as rookies, okay, Neighbors would be a little bit more polished to come in and make the impact right away. Now, you'd have to give up more to get him, right? Brian Thomas is also outside of that top-tier receivers, so you wouldn't have to give up as much to go get him. But I'm good with either of those guys. Anybody out in that top three after Harrison, I think you're good.
And the last guy we want to talk about specifically at the start of the show is Rome Odunze. We were talking about him before we even started the show. He is legit, and he feels like he would be a perfect fit for the Bills. I asked Joe, give me a Rome Odunze comp, and you said, well, like Mike Evans, but potentially with an even higher upside.
He could be a
Mike
better
Evans.
Mike Evans
Is maybe a Hall of Famer.
No, he is. He is a Hall of Famer.
Rome Odunze is another player that they would need to trade up for, The two spots you need to look are the New York Giants at 6 and the Chicago Bears at 9. If the Bills love Odunze, which I think they probably do, he's going to cost a lot, but he could be worth it and would immediately give the Bills a player that they have needed for a long time. So I think it makes a lot of sense. He checks a lot of boxes. And Joe said he's got long arms, which is a trait that the Bills covet.
Almost 33 inches long.
33 inches long. So that's why you stay and watch the show, because Joe can tell you how long his arms are.
I've got a spreadsheet if we want to.
And I'm sure Brandon Bean can also do the exact same thing.